What is up, my friend? Welcome to episode 99 of the Anthony John Amos podcast. Kind of sounds like I'm in a hollow room today. We just moved into a new house and I'm getting my office sorted. And a little hollow in this room till I get some stuff on the walls. Today I want to talk about the power of disciplining your mind. So if your mind is a crazy place, like most entrepreneurs, and you will learn how to really get it on point so you're running it rather than it running you. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Welcome to the Anthony John Amos podcast, the one and only podcast designed to help you become unstoppable in life and business. My name is Anthony John Amos. My friends call me AJ, and my goal with this podcast is to help you remember who you truly are so you can maintain your center in the chaos, embody your potential, and unlock freedom in your life and business. That being said, let's get into today's show.
All right, welcome back. Now, before we hop into today's topic, if you're at a place, you're running a personal brand, and you want to break through to a new level of peace, power, and profits, and you want to collapse some time, head on over to talkwithaj.com. Grab a time to talk with me. We'll figure out where you're at, where you want to go, and just create a game plan for you to be able to get there faster. And at the end of that call, if you want to execute that game plan, we'll talk about what that looks like. And if it's a win for me, win for you, we'll select, hey, this is how it could happen. So again, just go to talkwithaj.com if you want to be able to collapse some time, generate more peace, power, and profits in your life. So let's talk about how to run your mind. I had a conversation today, and I find this happens with people. They set big targets. They set big targets for their life. And they're like, cool, these are the things to do. And then they don't do those things. And then they start drifting and sliding. And they're like, oh, I'll do them tomorrow. I'll do them tomorrow. I'll do them tomorrow. And there's typically two responses. Some people are like, I'll just recommit, do it again. And they just kind of stay in this nebulous place of really not making traction. Or some people, a lot of people, they're like, fuck, I'm a piece of shit. How dare I not do this? And they start going down this train of I'm a terrible human being. And so the thing that I have you consider is the modern day currency is trust and respect. To the degree that we trust and respect ourselves is the degree in which the marketplace is going to trust us, our wives, our husbands, our children, the marketplace at large. It starts with us taking radical responsibility of our levels of trust and respect. And if we're at a place where we're like, I'm going to do this thing and we don't do it, then we're lying to ourselves and we're hemorrhaging our levels of core power and we're hemorrhaging our levels of trust and respect for self. So if you ever find yourself sliding, maybe the place for you to start is taking ownership of your life. Basics, get back to the basics where you're cool, am I getting enough oxygen every single day? I had a client look, I want you to take 3 mental mind breaks. He's like, what do I do? I was like, for 3 minutes, 3 times a day, just breathe. Just set a timer for 3 minutes, take a deep breath in, deep breath out, deep breath in, deep breath out, and just count your breaths. Count your breaths. 1, 2, just internally, not out loud. And for 3 minutes, just count your breaths. And the moment you forget, what number am I at? Start back at 1. Because it's about doing nothing. Because your mind is going to be I should be doing this. I should be exercising. I should have this. I have so much to do. And the goal is to be to tell your mind, no, breathe. Getting back to where you are the soul in control. You either run your mind or your mind runs you. And for many, many people, they let the inner critic, they let that inner resistance drive them. It's almost like a parent driving a car and they have this kid in the back seat who's turn right, turn left, stop driving, going too fast. At some point, the parent has to turn around, acknowledge the child and say, I hear you. And I'm in control of the car, so please quiet down. But we need to go again, I'm driving the car, quiet down. And this is what many of us need to do to get control of our inner critic because we've been given our inner critic the will of our life for way too long. And part of this is starting to take ownership, getting enough oxygen on a daily basis, breathing, disciplining your mind. I told the other guys, look, you need to start drinking half a gallon of water a day. I don't want to drink that much water. Your body's be I don't want to drink that much water. But the thing is if we're dehydrated at a cellular level, our bodies are in scarcity. And as a result, we cannot be leading our marketplace if our body's in scarcity. So drink some water. I also told him to, like, hey, part of taking ownership is making sure you have good energy throughout the day. So I told him, hey, let's do 100 burpees a day. Not all one time. You can do them in groups of 10 or whatever, but let's commit to 100 burpees. And again, your mind is not going to want to do the burpees. It's not. Your mind's like, burpees? Nope. Can I go run? Can I go walk? Can I do something different? No. We're doing burpees. I said we're doing 10 of 100 burpees right now. We're doing 10 burpees. I said we're doing 15 of 100 burpees. We're doing 15. And being committed to getting it done. And I promise you, if you just go on this journey where you're like, look, I'm going to do 3 mental mind breaks a day. I'm going to drink a half a gallon of water a day. I'm going to do, 100 burpees a day. I'm going to do a 20-second cold shower a day. Meaning you just get in your normal shower routine, and after your normal shower routine, you take a deep breath, exhale, and turn it all the way to cold. And for 20 seconds, breathe, mind your breath, because your body's going to go into full-on fight mode. It's like, or it's going to go flight. And you're going to have to be like, breathe. Again, you're learning to discipline your mind, like taking ownership of your life. Learning to discipline your mind is part of you getting back in alignment to trust and respect for self. So I just have you consider, if you're at a place where your inner critic is loud, take ownership. Take on this challenge for 30 days. 30 days, simple game. 3 mental mind breaks, half a gallon of water, 100 burpees a day, 20-second cold shower. I mean, hell, do it for 14 days. Do it for 7 days. And tell me at the end of 7 days that you don't feel a difference in your confidence and certainty as a human being. I've personally been doing cold showers, 20-second cold showers, for nearly a year now. It's just part of my way of being. It's part of my habitual way of being. And every single morning, there's still not a day that goes by where I'm like, oh, yay, cold shower time. Like every single day after my after my warm shower, I'm like, ah. But I have to remember, I am the soul in control. Not my mind. I am the soul in control. If I tell my mind to turn it to cold water, you turn it to cold water. Now, this translates into every aspect of your life. Because even if it's a cold shower, when you learn how to breathe, like your brain, your body's like, cease it up. Let's just grit through it. But you can learn to discipline your brain and be like, nope, breathe. You're training yourself to respond to stress stimuli. So the next time you have a stressful conversation with a client, you have a stressful conversation with your wife or your husband or your child, when everything in you wants to run or fight, flight, or freeze, you can remember, breathe. I'm the soul in control. You can navigate the stress. And your inner critic isn't going to be like, oh, if you were a good husband, you'd be doing this. If you were a good mom, you'd be doing this. Like, you're going to be in the driver's seat. You're going to be in the driver's seat. Right now, the world is swimming in chaos. Swimming in absolute uncertainty. Like, even if you don't watch the news, which I would recommend not to do, don't watch the news. You'll be happier if you don't. Even if you don't do that, you're still going to have media inputs coming to you through social media. Even if you don't do that, you're going to go out to breakfast or something, and you're going to hear a waitress or a waiter, and you're going to be swimming in uncertainty. And the opportunity that we're being given in humanity is like leveling up our ability to be certain in uncertainty. And that starts by doing some of the simple, basic shit like running and learning to discipline our own minds. Because there's a paradox to this. Like, on one hand, you are your thoughts, you are your feelings, you are your actions. And on the other side of that paradox, you're not your thoughts, you're not your feelings, you're not your emotions, you're not your actions. You are the soul in control. Which are true? Both are true. But we cannot give our level of certainty over to our thoughts and feelings. We can't give our level of certainty over to governmental authorities. Like, our levels of certainty are internally driven by no matter what happens externally, no matter what happens with external stimulus, we can be certain in uncertainty because we know we are the souls in control. And my friend, that is going to start with you learning how to discipline your mind on a daily basis. I don't know who needs to hear this message today, but I guarantee you it's a lot of people. It's a lot of people. And my invitation to you this day is really asking the question of, like, are you running your mind, or is your mind running you? And if your mind is running you, maybe it's time for you to step into ownership and start learning how to discipline your mind on a day-to-day basis to strengthen that muscle to know that you are the soul in control. My friend, that's going to do it for this episode. Thank you so much for being here. If this episode inspired you in some way, I would love to hear about it. Simply take a screenshot of you listening to this episode on your device, post it over to your Instagram stories, and tag me at AJ Amix over on Instagram. Thank you so much for being here. That's going to do it for this episode. Until next time, my friend, I'm out. Peace.
Well, that's all I've got for this episode of the Anthony John Amix podcast, but we have plenty more to help you become unstoppable in life and business. So head on over to ajamix.com for exclusive resources, information, and tools to help you break through to a new level of freedom, purpose, and success. I look forward to having you back for the next episode. Bye for now.